How have things gone first week or so that you're into this?
First week's been good. It's been encouraging. Our veterans have done a very good job of understanding their approach every day and how I want them to compete every day. And the freshmen, are freshmen, and they got a ways to go still, but they're starting to pick it up. I think most importantly, our locker room is as good as it's ever been since my time in coaching. These guys like each other, they hang out, and you start to see that on the floor.
That extra time you had in the summer with these guys, you see that paying off now this first week?
No question about it. And I've said that. The NCAA, that was one of the best rules they've ever come up with. Terminology-wise, we're ahead. Just the little things that you have to spend time on in the first week of practice, which is your foundation, we're already ahead a little bit. So drills are seamless, practice is seamless, things are going a little bit better, there's better flow, because usually there isn't great flow when you're trying to teach and then go live, and then teach and then go live. It's very difficult. But because of July, we put a lot of things in, a lot of drills in, so we'll be able to have a great practice to start. So, yeah.
Coach, how's DJ coming along on the floor, and how's his cohesion with Frazier in the backcourt so far?
DJ's doing great. You got to remember, he didn't play last year, so he is chomping at the bit. I mean, he can't wait to get going. We have a scrimmage next week and an exhibition game, so he's really looking forward to that. I don't play those guys together often, but because of the competition, we need to compete. We need to bring the freshmen along. But the days I do put them together, it's fun to watch with DJ and Tim in the backcourt. So it's going to be an exciting season if we stay healthy.
Is physical conditioning where you'd like to see, and how much do you test that in the first couple of weeks? Push the guys physically?
Our conditioning is right where it should be on day 6. Our strength coach does a great job. Our trainer does a great job. We have a formula in place. We're very conscious about their bodies and how long of a season, 6.5, almost 7 months sometimes. So that's the approach we have. These guys are in a good place. They're fine for 2.5 hours. I mean, they're pushing themselves. I was going to say they get through 2.5 hours, but that's a horrible term because you don't want to get through anything. We have to get better, and we're practicing at a high level right now, which I'm excited about.
What's the biggest difference between Tim Frazier in March and the Tim Frazier not Tim?
Can you hold on? Nate just showed up. I just wanted to make sure everybody said I didn't Nate. All right.
I thought I was early.
3 o'clock, Brian. All right, go ahead.
Biggest difference between Tim Frazier in March and Tim Frazier today?
But I'll tell you, you saw growth from the first day we've gotten here. We landed here of leader, went through his peaks and valleys, and he just kept coming, kept getting better. He's changed his body. He's 175 now, or 170, something like that, which is great. He came in at 145, so he's really worked off the floor. He stayed here all summer and went out and proved to the nation that he's one of the best point guards in the country. Deron Williams, LeBron James. And now he's brought that into the locker room, into this program. This is how hard you have to work if you want to be successful. And these guys are fun.
What about skill-wise? Any particular specific areas that you've seen skill improvement from him?
Well, because of the spring and the summer, him being in both sessions, his 3 has gotten so much better. So if he can knock that down with a pretty consistent rate, he's almost unguardable because he can get to the basket whenever he wants. He has a killer float over. That brings me back to the days of Mark Jackson. You guys remember the teardrop Mark Jackson from the Knicks had? Tim's got one that he can put over a 7-footer, which is pretty amazing. So if he can hit that 3 on a consistent basis, and I wouldn't allow him to shoot him, whatever he feels that is the best shot for that possession, we got to let him go.
Last year you said you thought he could be one of the best guards in the country, and he kind of went out and proved that. At the end of last season, you said you think you could have the best backcourt in the country. Are you standing by that?
I'm standing by. 2 feet in, Mark. I'm 2 feet in with that one. Just watching them play together on the frequent basis that we've done it, I get very excited. There's a lot more options. There's more space out there. You have to worry about DJ and his speed and his quickness and what he can do. They really like to play off each other. The one thing about them is they're probably too unselfish. The other one wants to get the ball, and they're all just, instead of take the open shot when it's there. When we get an uncontested open shot, we got to shoot that. And they're still learning each other in that regard. But I'm really excited what they both bring because, Tim brings that speed and that freakish athleticism, And DJ brings that tough, rugged, 6'4", football mentality on the floor with a chip. So it's fun to watch it kind of develop.
How tough is it not to play them together a lot, knowing what you might see when they're doing it? I understand why you're not doing it, but is it difficult to?
It's hard. The first day I put them together. First day of practice, I put them together because I was just as anxious as you guys to see it again. I did it a little bit just to pique his interest in February. I did it Friday, and I just realized it would be a much better practice and more competitive for both of those guys if they spar.
Yeah.
You're not just going to go against the third string guys. You got to go against the best, and that's only going to make Tim the best.
Coach, can you talk about that battle a little bit in practice, matching those two guys up? How do they go at it?
They go at it. They're fierce. I mean, there's no when they step in between the lines, they're not best friends anymore. They're going at each other and they're trying to make each other better. And I get on them if they don't. I get after them. It's like my brother and I. We grew up 1.5 years apart, and we got in more fights than anybody. But because of him, I'm here today. Because he put that fight, that chip, and that's what they're doing for each other. They know that they can't go easy on each other. I mean, I bring up Aaron Kraft, I bring up Trey Burke, I bring up those guys constantly. You guys got to know how those guys are going to compete versus you for 40 minutes. You need to do it to each other. So it's that much easier in a game if you make it harder right now.
You got to run four guards? I know you've talked about trying to.
Ben, good question. I'm going to put the best team on the floor. Because I thought last year our starts were poor for whatever reason. We could never get off to a good start unless we were home towards the end. We did a better job, but on the road. So if that means Ross at the 4, Ross just wants to play. If that means one of the freshmen at the 4 or even Sasha at the 4, then that's what we're going to do. But as you guys know, we keep statistics, and whoever's in the top 7 or 8, they're going to have the best chance to start.
There's a lot of excitement about DJ and Tim, but I want to talk about the big guys. Struggled a little bit last year, last in defensive rebounding in the Big Ten, but first in offensive rebounding. Talk about where they struggled last year and about how they're progressing so far.
Their struggles just came in inexperience and youth. That's all it was. You saw, glimpses. Sasha has an incredible game against Ole Miss. John has a couple incredible games in the Big Ten where he hits the 2 free throws against Iowa. I mean, these guys have it in them. And they had a very good offseason. They changed their bodies. Their feet are quicker. They're dunking every chance they get now, where maybe last year they didn't do that. They were hesitant. They didn't know our rotations. Our guards need to be able to trust them too. So they're trusting them more. And because of that trust, they're playing better. So I told them, if we're going to be really good this year, it's going to be because of our big guys. Because we know what we're going to get from our guards.
Can you tell if Sasha trusts his ACL a little bit more now than maybe he did coming off the injury last year?
No question. Last year, if you guys remember, if I could see him, he had a huge brace on. He was like a robot. He couldn't move. And this year, in the spring, he took it off. And I'm like, wait a second. Time out. You played with it all year. Now you're going to take it off. He just trusted it. Look, I just had knee surgery. I can tell you right now, I don't trust it at all. And that's me. I'm 41. I should be able to trust it a little bit because our trainer did a good job. But he didn't trust it for a year. Now, I'm telling you, he's getting up. He's feeling better. He's jumping higher. It's good stuff. So he definitely trusts it more. So you're going to see a different Sasha.
How's your knee?
My knee's getting there. I went a little too hard yesterday. I closed out too hard. I think I clipped something, but that's all right. We battled through. We got some treatment today.
How's the overall health of the team? A lot of times coming in early in the season.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Everybody's doing very well. Kevin Montmany has a concussion because he plays just so hard. But right now, everybody's doing great.
How guys look shooting the 3? And are there any guys that you might want to get some more design plays for because they're shooting pretty well this year?
I'll tell you what, Jermaine Marshall's probably shooting above 50% right now from 3. Tim's probably shooting above 42, 43%. Nick Colella is shooting at a very high clip, 55%. He knows that's his job. Because I don't think he has many 2s on the sheet that I'm looking at. But they're shooting at high clips, which is great, which we really didn't have last year. Sporadic. And when we did have it, we probably won that game. Billy Oliver having 7. Cam Woodyard had some good games there. Jermaine, 27 against Michigan. So it's there. They're working on it, as you can see. The guys in the gym now, I don't have to tell them to get in the gym. I don't have to beg them to get in the gym. They're doing it on their own. They're right there with the women, which is great.
After last night, you have more appreciation for how critical that 3 ball is.
Yeah. Whoever makes the most 3s normally is winning the game on the high level. We need to be able to shoot 3s. They had 5 guys in the paint. I continue to watch old tape. So they had 5 guys in the paint against Tim because we just didn't have any, especially on the road, we were shooting 31%, something crazy. So when we don't have to worry about a guy making a 3, you just pack it in against Tim. That's how amazing Tim's year was. For him to average almost 20 points and lead the Big Ten in assists, and we couldn't make a shot on the road, pretty impressive. Now he's got some new tools, some new weapons.
Can you talk about the excitement in the hub this week with the student ticket sales? You sold more tickets in one day than you did all last season for the students, and how big is Nittany Nation going to play this year?
It was awesome. I went Tuesday, I went today. The energy was electric. People were going crazy. Like you said, we broke the record, a 5-year record. We're getting close to 1,300 student season ticket holders, which is great. We need that. These kids are working hard. Everywhere we go, there's a home court advantage. We don't have that. We need, and we got to win. I get that. If you build it, they will come. If you win, they will come. But we're playing a fun style. We got really good talent on this team. They're good guys. We're out in the community. We're out across campus. Come out to some games. We really need that home court advantage.
Do you have a sense for, you've always sold season tickets. Sometimes they don't show up.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense for their level of excitement heading into the season?
You know what? That's something that I got to tap into. But I've asked the season ticket holders, and I believe Lauren Crispo has asked them, if you're not going to come, give them out. Give them to somebody else who might come. If it's a 9 o'clock game during the week and you can't get here, well, put them on the website somewhere. Say, hey, you want tickets? I got your tickets. Whatever we can do legally to help out. I mean, because you're right. There's empty seats, and that we can't have them. Not this year.
Coach, can you talk about the success of the football team so far, and sort of when the season started, not much was expected from them. You guys are sort of in a similar boat. Is there inspiration that you draw from that?
I'm proud to be at Penn State, and I'm proud to be a fan of the football team. I love watching them play. I love what he's done in the first 6-7 weeks here, going into Iowa. They're just exciting, and they're grinding, and they're gritty, and they're tough, and they're physical. It's fun, physical football. I love watching it. It's old school. And just talking to him and being around him, that's the way he is, and that's the way you got to play. Hopefully we play very similar. You know, from the way we played last year, a lot of people say, hey, man, those kids grind, those kids play hard, those kids dive, they take charges, they're physical. Well, I think they're saying a lot of that about the football team. Good? Thank you. Thanks, guys.